This is MoRsei, and today we'll show you how I built my drop for my track From Earth. It was released on Shamanic Tales. Well, this is kind of, let's say, complex transition to a drop. Let's listen to the build-up, to the actual build-up, and then we can go into what's happening in the build-up and what's happening in the transition. Basically, this is the build-up. It's actually quite long. When I was doing it, I actually planned to do like a really not so long break, let's say, but the build-up just kind of kept asking me for more. I remember doing like 16 bar build-up. I just felt, yeah, okay, I need more bars to develop it. So I ended up doing a really long build up and like this kind of like fake drop and going into a drop, right? Let's go over what's happening here. The bass filtering is pretty basic on this one. It's nothing, there's no like kick rolls or anything too complex. The actual thing is when we get to the point where the melody stops and some other things are happening, right? Okay, the melody parts, we go until here. We just have like snare rolls, risers, nothing too complex in this part in terms of the uplifting part, let's say. So basically, we have a normal snare roll combined with another one here. Nothing too complex, just a standard riser. Nothing too complex, as you see. Another riser here. The actual nice thing about this build-up is the part that follows, because this part is pretty basic, as you see. We have the melodies, and of course it's doing like a kind of like a call and response section between the sounds, which is nice, but it's mainly the melody. So here what's happening is we are stopping the melody at one point, and the kick and bass filter and we're changing the kick and bass filter. So you can see what it's doing here. So let's go over what happens with the actual sounds besides the kick and bass, right? the first thing that we encounter here, it's this boom that it's combined as well with this downlifter, these effects here. And this is combined with the melody delay. I delayed one of the layers in the melody, just one of the layers. And what's happening here is we have a freq shifter that it's pitching up the melody delay into the next transition. Everything combined will give us this. You know, when I was doing this drop, I was actually going to stop there with a build up and just going to the drop. Yeah, I just felt something extra could be done. And this is why I did 4 more bars and I go into this kind of this boom effects here. This one. That stops everything that was happening, like totally sweeps out everything with the help of these two as well. That's some reverse vocals. All of this combined. So this gives a feeling that it's sweeping out everything. I also cut the melody there. If I can show the automation, the volume goes completely down when that part hits. What I do is I remove everything that was happening from before and I go into this kind of reset, let's say. Let's play it again just to... Okay, and now this 4-bar section is happening. And this 4-bar, it's actually what made the transition also really interesting, because otherwise, yeah, if I went for the drop just right away, maybe it wasn't so interesting or so nice, let's say. So here, so this 4-bar really gives the whole build-up some room to breathe. It's just nice, you know, when you have a build-up, a really big build-up, and then you just go into like a kind of 2-bar or a 4-bar where you give some room to breathe. It's really good. It's really good because you get like more power into a drop. So basically what's happening here is in the 4-bar, we have these ones playing along with the kick and bass filter, of course. We have the kick and bass filter. And we have these ones to help the filter out, this kind of glitchy effects and the drum fills here. And I usually do this, you know, I don't think I ever go just for one drum fill. I always combine at least 2 drum fills. Usually with one drum fill, it's not enough. This worked for me in this case. I felt gave a lot of power to the actual drop. So you have to try things out, you know. You have to check different drum fills, different combinations of them. I have one that it's like more glitched out, and maybe this one is more organic, you know. And this one, so the whole combination of all of them, it just gives some really nice feeling into a drop. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole build up.
You basically said like you're building up like 213, then you change the vibe with the kick filter, and basically sweep it down, but also build it up again. And then comes like this boom thing, and silencing will add a little bit of breathing and the fill, which then kind of like transitions into the kick.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a build up into a down lifter feeling that builds up again, and then this kind of room to breathe for the transition, you know. And this is actually this concept of giving room to breathe in the transition. That's the main important thing. You can do really like basic build-ups, but you really need you usually need this 2 bar, 4 bar, or at least 1 bar to, you know, to, but for the drum fills or something to happen there, you know, the drop will be way more impactful.
In the downlifting part, there's also like less elements than before, so that's probably also important to kind of like keep this a bit clean, or and not to like overdo like the build up and then drop and build up too much again.
I think it's I mean it does have some elements to it, but it's mostly, yeah, it's not as crowded as before. I mean that the actual build up is really crowded because we have like all the melody layers, we have many like snare rolls, sweeps, you know, the crashes. I forgot to mention about the crashes. I have the crashes here. Definitely like the parts after the melodies is less crowded. You know, you want to kind of alleviate what was happening. So yeah, it's let's say it's 3 blocks, right? 3 blocks. We have this one, which is the actual build up. We have this one, which is the kind of downlifting, but still kind of building up into the next part. And we have kind of room to breathe with the drum fills and everything. And afterwards, we go into drop.
I also see like there's kind of like 4 groups of elements basically going in: the kick and the bass with the filtering. Then we have the risers, like the noise riser, the snare roll, the laser, the crashes, and all that. Then we have the melody, which is kind of like a rising component, and the grid, which is actually the only not rising component, but gives kind of like stability and continuation to the part before. Can we do like a quick try, like just like playing the section one time again with all the elements, and then like switching off group by group, not the kick and bass maybe, but the filter maybe, just to see like what effect would it have if there would be like no grid or no risers or not the bass filter or
Yeah,
something.
totally. Let's play it with everything, and we can play it without the grid afterwards, and let's see how it works out. So let's see without the whole grid section what happens. Definitely gives a different feeling to it. Definitely fills up, in my opinion. Otherwise, I feel it's maybe too dull. You know, it's maybe not so interesting. So I feel these texture sounds during the build up, they really add up. Depends on, I mean, it depends on the melody as well you have. Maybe it works without anything. You know, also keep in mind, I mean, I don't do this like in every track, you know. Actually, most of the times I just do like effects and other things to kind of fill up that part. But I thought it was really interesting to do it in this track because the whole grid part, let's say, it's coming from the actual break, so it felt like a nice continuation to it.
Like one time, like without the kick and bass filter, maybe just because it's like a really simple thing, but I think it adds like a lot.
Yeah, totally. Let's play it there. So yeah, you definitely want kick and bass filtering always. You know, it's actually really important for the build up.
One thing about the filter, I saw you use the Simplon, and you had actually two filters.
Let me show the automations here. Yeah, so these are actually the automations for it. I turn up the resonance. I turn up the resonance higher when I'm doing the high filtering, right? So like here. And this part it will go like even higher with the resonance. So this one is it's the same filter, you know, it's the same filter, but it's just like doing a different automation. It's just doing a different automation. We have it like until here it goes like this, and then I mean for this part I turned off the filter 1. So you see here, it's only doing the 2, and here it's so this one is really like not too audible in this part where the downlifter part is placed, because I already have too many effects and everything, you know, like this part. So it's not doing much there, you know, it's not doing much. It's really slightly, you know. And then in the actual like 4-bar break before the drop, there we have it like really loud and resonant. This also gives a really nice kind of energetic pre-drop feeling when you have the resonance up and it's filtering downwards, you know. So yeah, that really helps the mood switch actually, because you definitely need that, you know, because I mean if I would have this filter here before the pre-drop, it just wouldn't work, you know. It works better with this one, like definitely. So this one I feel for the pre-drop is the right one to use, and this one for the build-up is probably the most common one. You will see it, like you will listen to this like in pretty much in every track where they have build-ups. Yeah, that's the most common for the kick and bass build-up, let's say. And usually the most common one for the pre-drop is this one. You'll find that in many tracks. So okay, one more thing we have is the continuation to a drop. We'll see just the main, like the first bars after it, and we can check. So okay, yeah, actually this is a really important thing I want to show you, because I have these elements here, right? And let's see what happens if I play this without this sound here. Wait, I will show you the sound I'm referring to. So okay, this gives a really nice dynamic vibe to a drop, to the actual drop. In comparison to this. It's about like combining some elements sometimes. In this case, I remember placing the delayed vowel sound, and it just didn't do it for me. You know, I felt something else was needed. So just to give it more power to it. Otherwise, it felt, yeah, kind of boring. And with such an energetic drop and build up coming from before, you kind of want the whole part to match that, you know. And this one did it for me, you know. I just placed this one and combined with a delayed vowel. It was really nice and energetic. But without this one, it just feels, yeah, maybe kind of boring and not too energetic. Okay, and I want to talk about this sound here, which is actually really important, because it's presenting what's coming next. And actually it's a really important position for a sound to present, to usually present what's coming in the 8-bar change. So let's play it and let's see what happens. Let's play it without the sound and let's see what happens. So you see the vibe is completely different, you know. You always want to use this resource of adding one sound before the 8-bar change, so you present what's coming afterwards in a more interesting way. So you will have a sound playing just before the 8-bar, going into the 8-bar change. And for example, this one is presenting the close hats. And the close hats are really important in this part because you have everything building up again. So you kind of want to match all the energy that you have in this part to the actual build-up. So this one is really important, and you can apply it to pretty much like every part in the track. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this part. You can apply it in other parts, in open hat sections. Usually it's really nice as well when you go with this one into a crash in the 8-bar changes. So it's a really nice resource when you have some sound before the 8-bar change going into the 8-bar change. So you can see a difference. It's a huge difference, actually. It's a resource you can apply to every part of the track. It's a really, really great positioning for a sound to be there. And you will notice that in many professional tracks that they have some sound going into the 8-bar change.
So thank you, Fran, for showing us around and showing us the drop from Earth. It's an amazing track and was really like insightful to see all the details and how it's made behind the scenes. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me again. And yeah, I'm happy to show new producers or anyone learning how to make build-ups and drops.
Yeah, so maybe you want to talk quickly about the remix contest. So what is it about and who is it for? And yeah.
Yeah, the remix contest is for one of my tracks released on Digitalum. It's a really great track to remix, really nice elements. We'll host the remix contest until end of December, and yeah, anyone who joins the course is can participate in the remix contest, and it will be really nice. We really have some guys participating in it, and I think it will be a really good experience for anyone in the course. I learned so much from remixes, so it's really nice and really productive.
And also, I want to announce this again. We have now 3 students who released the Daku records and 1 more coming. And I hope you who are right now watching this will be one of our next students, which we can bring to a top label like Daku. And a lot of the thank goes to Fran because he kind of like really coaches the students like in depth and shows all the kind of like tricks of the trade and all the details because there's so much to learn, much more than we showed today. But if you come into our hands, then we will really take care of you and bring you to make your release ready.
Yeah, honestly, like the guys are advancing so fast. It's crazy. They are already releasing in Dakru. So the previous time we did the tutorial video, that release was pending still, and now it's live. It was released yesterday, so it's amazing. It's amazing. 4 tracks in a compilation. It's from the students. It's just incredible. So, and Dakru is a top label. Like they host many parties in Europe. They have booking agency. They are so professional. So it's really amazing. It's a really big step for the guys to release there. So it's incredible.
Amazing. So yeah, I hope that we see you also soon again here on the channel to show some cool tricks and about
Always.
tracks.
Yeah, always, man. Always. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
See you. Bye bye.